Okay, so this is our week 2 meeting for ADL632. So let's go ahead and get right into it. A couple of just generic questions that people might have. When will grades be posted? Sometime after the Tuesday after the class ends. So remember, the class ends on the Saturday of week 4. So be ready for that too, since assignments are due one day early. Earlier than they have been for the other 3 weeks, and I'll be posting them no earlier than that Tuesday between around 12 to 5 p.m., but it could be any time after that as well, hopefully Tuesday or shortly after that. So just make sure you're ready by having your assignments ready and whatnot, and we should be good. All grades are posted at the same time, so if one student isn't ready, everyone's kind of waiting for that student to finish an assignment or whatnot. So just keep that in mind, although I do realize that, life sometimes gets in the way of things like this. So if you do have an emergency, something that, you couldn't account for, and you need a bit of extra time or whatever, then feel free to contact me and I can let you know how things are going. That goes for every week. If something happens, let me know. If you do contact me before the due date, then if we've arranged something, I won't mark you down for turning something in late if that happens. Whereas if you don't contact me beforehand, you may lose a percentage of the points if it's turned in late. Discussion boards, try to do these earlier in the week. They do just make more sense if you do them earlier in the week as the discussion's going on. Makes it easier for people that get in there and need to respond to, at least 2 other students in most cases. If there have been people in there posting responses, it makes it easier for everyone. So, but of course, you have until the deadline to turn them in. So, but it does make more sense if you do them earlier. Remember to respond to at least 2 other students. In almost every case, you're responding to 2 other students and my question as well. So don't forget about that. And then if you do have a question that requires multiple responses to the question, if you could label those parts of the responses, that makes it easier for me to grade it appropriately. Okay, typically we have weekly meetings. This changes periodically, so I'll have to double check on this one. So just look for updates about the weekly meetings to see when they are. I'll be giving updates on that early in the week. So sometimes we'll do a pre-recorded webinar, sometimes we'll do a live webinar. The last week, maybe we'll do a Twitter chat. So just look for those updates as they go along, as we move along. And then always check the rubrics. Don't miss points because you forgot something that was clearly stated in the rubric. Okay, so moving into the assignments for this week, we have our first assignment is our invitation to learn and to share, and it's on a Tech 2.0 tool. So basically, you're going to create an activity that uses 2 Tech 2.0 tools. So, as an example, you might use Padlet or Kahoot or Edpuzzle or something like that. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and look at an example right here of or the requirements for this assignment right here. So for the assignment, you should have a clear description of the activity. So you're going to create some sort of activity that will incorporate 2 Tech 2.0 tools. Like I said, we'll get into some examples there. And then you're going to embed this activity within your LMS, your learning management system. So it should be in your Moodle. So, and everyone should be able to go see that without any trouble. You're also going to provide a well-supported rationale, okay, for your selection, okay, and a specific scenario describing its use. So when would you use this in the classroom? And then be sure you have links to the tools or their website. So if you're going to say, I'm going to use Edpuzzle or Padlet or Kahoot or something like that, have links directly to those pages. And the more specific you are about that link, if it goes directly to the activity that you want to use, that's even better. Let's see, so you want to have some curricular objectives, obviously. You can use Common Core or other standards to support your activity. And then you want to also tie in a little bit of universal design for learning, get those UDL requirements in there. And then where does this fit in the larger context? So where is this in this particular lesson? Where is it in the overall lesson? And then you also want to put how will the activity be assessed. So you want to include those things in your lesson. So let's go back to, let's see here. I'm going to pause this for a moment. Okay, so let's go back here and let's continue this. So like I said, you're going to be using two Tech 2.0 tools. So I can think of a few examples right off the top of my head. One of them is Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle is a website that allows you to upload your video or even use somebody else's video on YouTube and add questions within the video. So the video will pause and you can add multiple choice questions and some other things as well throughout the video so that you can assess if the students are understanding the video. So Edpuzzle is a good example of that. Padlet is sort of a kind of a sticky note sort of area. It's a sort of a notepad where multiple students can post ideas on this notepad, and it's kind of neat if you have students, let's say for instance brainstorm what they know about an activity. You can have them post their ideas onto Padlet. I've used it as a KWL chart before, so I'll have 3 columns. What do you know about this topic? What do you want to know about this topic? And what have you learned about this topic? And students will post their ideas onto Padlet. Kahoot is a good one. Kahoot is a good way to assess students or prepare students for an upcoming assessment. It's just basically sort of a game show and allows you to ask questions and do so in a game show type of environment. I will post something to my ADL632 sample page so you can go ahead and see an example of what I'm talking about. It won't be a full-fledged assignment most likely, but it'll have the skeleton of what your assignment should be like. So you can just check out and see what it should look like. Okay, so then our next thing is our discussion for the week is you're going to be doing a peer review of someone else's Tech 2.0 tools. So let's go ahead and look at that question really quickly. So here is the question, the discussion board here. So you're going to be reviewing someone else's assignment that we just discussed, that Tech Tool 2.0 assignment, and you're going to be talking about these things right here. So possible activity applications, modifications, how would you modify their activity, how would you enhance their activity, different variations, how would you use it in different situations for varied learners, so different types of learners. Comparisons of relevant technology tools. Are there other technology tools maybe that compare to the one that they posted? And then where might these activities fall on the TPAC model? And there's a link right there that'll help you out as well. And then your rationale for modifications using ideas from UDL and other things here. So these are your questions right there. You're going to be reviewing someone else's Tech 2.0 activity that you'll find on their Moodle site. All right, and that is about it for this week. Don't forget about all of the great resources that are available for you under week 2. So you'll need here, there's some videos here, there's some websites, links to some Tech 2.0, Web 2.0 applications there. So don't forget about those things. Go through those and absorb those as well. They really help out. Thank you and have a great week.